I 32F, work as a middle manager at a major tech company, leading a team of 15 software developers. I've been engaged to Mike at 34M for the past few months, and we've been meticulously planning our engagement party, scheduled for just 2 weeks from now. Everything was falling into place. We'd booked this beautiful venue downtown, chosen the perfect catering menu, and I'd even found the ideal dress for the occasion. I was finally getting my moment to shine. At work today, I was in the middle of a crucial project meeting when my phone started vibrating repeatedly. I usually keep it on silent during meetings, but with the party coming up, I'd been waiting for calls from vendors. After the third call in 5 minutes, I excused myself, thinking it must be an emergency. It was my mother. "Alice, cancel the engagement party," she barked into the phone without even a hello. I nearly dropped my cell phone in shock, ducking into an empty conference room. "What? Mom, are you kidding me? No jokes here. Lily just got promoted to senior analyst, and we're celebrating on your engagement day. She deserves this recognition. She's worked so hard for this. Lily's my younger sister, 29F, and she's always been mom and dad's golden child. But this was a whole new level of crazy. Even for them." I stepped further into the conference room, my hands shaking as I gripped the phone. "Mom, come on. I've been planning this for ages. The venue deposit is non-refundable, the invitations are already out, and people have made travel arrangements. I'm not canceling because Lily got a promotion," I said, trying to keep my voice steady while watching my coworkers pass by through the glass walls. "Don't be selfish, Alice. This is big for your sister. Same guests, different party. Just reschedule," Mom snapped. "Everyone will understand. Family comes first." I felt my blood boiling. The irony of her saying, "family comes first," wasn't lost on me. "No way, Mom. This is my engagement we're talking about. I'm not canceling. End of story." She started screeching then, her voice so high it made my ears ring. Something about how I've always been jealous of Lily's success, how I never support her, how I'm trying to overshadow her moment. I didn't even bother listening anymore, I just hung up. Sitting in that sterile conference room, staring at my phone, all these childhood memories came flooding back. It was always like this, Lily first, me whenever. I remembered my sweet 16, Mom and Dad totally forgot until Grandma Margaret called to wish me happy birthday. They scrambled to throw together some pathetic celebration, a grocery store cake and a $25 gift card to Target. Especially pathetic compared to the 3-day bash they'd thrown for Lily's 13th birthday just a few months earlier, complete with a rented bouncy castle, professional catering, and a live band. Or the time I made valedictorian in high school, they skipped my graduation speech because Lily had a dance recital the same day. She's been practicing for months, Alice. You understand, right? We'll watch the video recording of your speech later. They never did. I somehow made it through the rest of my workday, though I couldn't focus on anything. My team must have noticed something was wrong, they kept shooting concerned glances my way, but I wasn't ready to talk about it. How do you even explain this level of family dysfunction to colleagues? When I got home that evening, Mike was already there, cooking dinner. One look at my face and he knew something was wrong. "Alice, what happened?" he asked, immediately abandoning the stir-fry and coming to sit beside me on our worn leather couch. I spilled everything, the call, Mom's demands, the memories. He listened, his face getting darker with every word. Mike has always been my rock, especially when it comes to family drama. Coming from a close-knit, supportive family himself, he's never quite understood my parents' behavior, but he's always been there for me. "That's bull," he said when I finished. "We're not canceling anything. Your sister could have chosen any other day for her celebration. This is deliberate, and you know it." I nodded, so grateful for his support. "I know, it's just, why can't they ever put me first? Just once?" "Because they're idiots," Mike said firmly. "But I put you first. Always. And my family does too, you know my mom already considers you her daughter." He was right about that. Mike's mom, Susan, had been more motherly to me in the past 3 years than my own mother had been my entire life. We spent the rest of the night going over our plans, making sure everything was perfect. Mike ordered takeout since the stir-fry was beyond saving, and we curled up on the couch with our phones, double-checking every detail of the party planning. As I drifted off to sleep that night, I tried to push thoughts of my family out of my head. This was my time, my moment. I wasn't going to let them mess it up. But around 3 a.m., I woke up in a cold sweat, remembering all the times my parents had managed to ruin my important moments. Like my college graduation, when they spent the entire ceremony talking about Lily's upcoming internship, or my first promotion celebration that they left early because Lily had a crisis with her boyfriend. The next morning, I woke up determined to forget about Mom's crazy call and focus on the party. I had a million things to do, final invites to send, decorations to sort out, seating arrangements to finalize. I'd taken the day off work specifically to handle these details. Then my phone pinged. It was my cousin Jennifer. "Hey, Alice, everything okay with you and Mike? Heard you guys split up." I stared at my phone, totally confused. Where'd she get that idea? I typed back quickly, "What? No way. We're fine." "Who told you that?" Jennifer's reply popped up, "Weird. Aunt and said your mom told her the engagement was off. Something about a huge fight? She said you were devastated and that's why they're planning Lily's celebration instead." My stomach dropped like a stone. I called Jennifer right away. "What's going on?" I asked as soon as she picked up. "I don't know, Alice. Aunt called everyone last night, said your mom told her you and Mike had this huge fight and called everything off. She said Mike cheated or something. They're saying we should all go to Lily's promotion party instead. I was worried about you." I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. "Jennifer, that's all lies. We're still engaged. The party's still on. Mom wanted me to cancel for Lily's thing, but I said no way. Now she's making up stories?" There was a pause. "Oh crap, Alice. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. But that's not all. They're saying you've been acting erratic at work, that you're jealous of Lily's success, and that's why you're refusing to reschedule. Your mom's really painting a picture here." I spent the next 2 hours on the phone with Jennifer, piecing together what happened. Turns out my mom had gone behind my back to cancel my engagement party. She called every single relative on the guest list, spinning this wild story about Mike and me breaking up, my supposed mental breakdown over Lily's success, and redirected them all to Lily's promotion party. What was worse, the story was evolving. Some relatives heard I was having a mental breakdown, others heard Mike was cheating, and a few even heard I'd been fired from my job for erratic behavior. My mother had created this whole alternate reality where I was falling apart and Lily was the successful, stable sister who deserved the celebration. I took a deep breath, trying to calm down. "I'm going to fix this mess. Can you help spread the word that the engagement's still on?" "Of course," Jennifer replied without missing a beat. "I'll start calling people right now. This is messed up, Alice. Really messed up." After hanging up, I just sat on my couch, trying to wrap my head around it all. My own mother had tried to sabotage my engagement party. The woman who was supposed to help me plan it, who should have been excited to see her daughter happy, was actively trying to destroy my relationship and my reputation. Mike found me there an hour later when he got home from work early. I texted him about the situation. One look at my face and he knew how bad it was. I told him everything, Mom's calls, the lies, the whole Lily party redirect, the cheating accusations, everything. With each word, I could see the anger building in his eyes. Mike's usually the calm one, the one who helps me see the reasonable side of things. But not this time. "That's it," he said when I finished. "We're cutting them off. All of them, your parents, Lily, the whole bunch. I've watched them hurt you for 3 years, and I'm done. My parents suggested this ages ago, but I knew you weren't ready. But Alice, this is next level toxic." I knew he was right, but the thought of cutting off my family scared me. Who would I be without them? Even if they treated me like dirt, they were still my family. And what about Grandma Margaret? She was the only one who ever stood up for me. Let's focus on fixing this first, I said. We need to let everyone know the engagement's still on. Mike nodded, his jaw set. Okay. Where do we start? We spent the rest of the night in damage control mode, sending emails, making calls, posting on social media. I wrote this long message explaining everything and sent it to everyone on our guest list. Mike's parents came over to help, bringing dinner and their address books full of family contacts. Susan, Mike's mom, held my hand while I made call after call. You're family to us, Alice, she kept saying. We'll fix this together. It was exhausting and humiliating, having to explain over and over that no, Mike and I hadn't broken up, no, I wasn't having a mental breakdown, yes, I still had my job, and yes, the engagement party was still happening. By the time we finished, it was way past midnight. My voice was shot from all the talking, and my eyes burned from staring at screens. The damage control wasn't complete, but we'd reached most of the important people. We did it, Mike said, pulling me into a hug. It's going to be okay. His parents hugged me too before they left, promising to keep spreading the truth to their side of the family. I wanted to believe everything would be okay, but I couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. Mom's betrayal had opened up old wounds, all the times I'd been overlooked, all the times Lily had been the favorite. It all came rushing back. Now I'm sitting here, staring at my phone that's been blowing up with mixed responses from family members. Some are supportive, others are clearly taking my parents' side, saying I'm being selfish and should just reschedule. A few have suggested I seek therapy to deal with my obvious issues about Lily's success. Mike's family has been amazing, rallying around us and offering support. His sister immediately offered to help with the party planning, and his aunt called to say she'd handle the family coordination. It's making me realize what a real, supportive family looks like. I'm really struggling with what to do next. The practical side of me knows I need to stand my ground. Canceling would not only cost us thousands in deposits but would also validate my mother's lies. But another part of me is terrified of the fallout. This could permanently damage my relationship with my family. Should I stand firm and have my engagement party as planned, knowing it might cause a permanent rift in the family? Or should I give in to keep the peace, even though it means letting them walk all over me again? Update 1. First, thank you all for your overwhelming support on my previous post. The past week has been absolute chaos, and things have taken several unexpected turns. Yesterday, I decided to visit my father's sister, Aunt Patricia, hoping to personally invite her to the engagement party and clear up any confusion. As I approached her house, I heard voices from the living room. I was about to call out a greeting when I caught a snippet of conversation that made me freeze. Can't believe Alice would do such a thing, Aunt Patricia was saying. Canceling her own engagement party to spite her sister. So childish. My heart sank. It was a new lie, different from my mother's previous version. I was about to storm in and set things straight when another voice chimed in. I know, right? Poor Lily must be crushed. After all that hard work to get promoted, and now Alice is trying to steal her thunder with all this drama. I recognized that voice, my cousin Madison, who I'd always thought was on my side. We'd grown up together, shared secrets, supported each other through tough times. Yet here she was, gossiping about me behind my back. I couldn't take it anymore. I stepped into the room. Both women jumped like they'd seen a ghost. Aunt Patricia recovered first, plastering on a fake smile. Alice, sweetie. We didn't hear you come in. Obviously, I said, my voice ice cold. I came to invite you to my engagement party, but it seems you've already made up your minds about me. I want to know exactly what Mom told you. For the next hour, I listened as they spilled the beans on Mom's newest tale. According to her latest version, I threw a fit when I heard about Lily's promotion, demanding she reschedule her celebration. When Lily refused, I supposedly canceled my own engagement party out of spite, saying I'd rather not get married at all than share the spotlight. But the lies didn't stop there. Mom had apparently embellished the story with details about how I'd been sabotaging Lily at work, spreading rumors about her to management, and even trying to prevent her promotion. None of this was remotely true. I don't even work at the same company as Lily. While this was happening, Mike was dealing with his own family crisis. My mother had somehow gotten his aunt's number and called her with concerns about Mike's well-being. She suggested I was manipulating him, isolating him from his family, and using him to compete with Lily. Mike's aunt, thankfully, saw through the lies and immediately called him to verify the truth. The real shock came when I received an email from my company's HR department. Someone had filed an anonymous complaint about my erratic behavior and family issues affecting my work performance. While they assured me it was just a routine follow-up, the timing was suspicious. I had to spend 2 hours explaining the situation to my manager and HR representative. Through all this, Lily has been actively participating in the smear campaign. She's been posting vague, passive-aggressive updates on social media about toxic family members and narcissistic siblings. She even shared an article about signs of mental instability, with a pointed message about getting help before it's too late. The one bright spot in all this has been my grandmother Margaret. After hearing both sides of the story, she decided to investigate herself. She spent days calling various family members, collecting different versions of the story, and documenting the inconsistencies in my mother's tales. Yesterday evening, Grandma Margaret showed up at my apartment with a thick folder full of notes. "I've been a fool," she said, tears in her eyes. "I should have seen this pattern years ago." She showed me her documentation, decades of similar incidents where my parents had manipulated situations to favor Lily at my expense. She's now fully on our side and has been calling relatives to set the record straight. Having her support means more than I can express, though it's also brought up complicated feelings about all the years she didn't see what was happening. Mike's family has been incredibly supportive through all this. His mother has been helping me handle the logistics of the engagement party, and his sister created a group chat to coordinate with relatives who are still planning to attend. They're showing me what real family support looks like. Looking ahead, I'm both more certain and more terrified about how to proceed. The engagement party is still on, but I know this is just the beginning of a longer battle. Mike and I have started couples counseling to help us navigate this situation as a united front, and I've begun individual therapy to process years of family dysfunction. To everyone who advised me to document everything, thank you. It's already proving invaluable as we deal with the professional implications of my family's actions. The party is in a week, and I'm trying to stay focused on what matters, celebrating our engagement with people who truly support us. For those asking about my parents and Lily, they're still spreading their version of events, but I've stopped trying to correct them. At this point, people either see through the lies or they don't. Update 2, 2 weeks after my last update, and the situation has gotten both better and worse. Let me explain what's happened since then. First, Lily's retaliation hit a new level. She showed up at my workplace unannounced, causing a scene in our office lobby. She was screaming about how I'd ruined her special moment and always tried to overshadow her. Security had to escort her out, but not before several of my colleagues witnessed the meltdown. The most shocking part? She was wearing her old high school cheerleading uniform, something that clearly didn't fit anymore and looked completely inappropriate for a business environment. When security asked her to leave, she started crying hysterically about how Alice always gets her way, and Mom was right about her being manipulative. The incident forced me to have a serious conversation with my boss. Thankfully, he was understanding and even shared his own experience with family drama. Our company is implementing extra security measures, and I've been given the option to work remotely when needed. Mike's been incredible through all this. When Lily started spreading rumors about him cheating, he didn't get angry. Instead, he contacted his lawyer and documented everything. We now have a thick file of screenshots, recordings, and witness statements about my family's harassment. But perhaps the most unexpected development came from Mike's parents. They offered us an alternative venue for the engagement party, their beautiful lakeside vacation home. It's actually more perfect than our original venue, and more importantly, it's private and secure. We've hired security to ensure no uninvited guests can crash the party. The guest list has changed significantly. After Lily's office incident, several relatives who were on the fence reached out to apologize. Aunt Patricia called in tears, admitting she'd been wrong about me and offering to help with the party. Even my cousin Madison sent a lengthy email apologizing for her role in spreading the rumors. However, my mother's response to all this has been to escalate further. She's now telling people that I'm as dangerous and unstable. She even contacted Mike's ex-girlfriend from college, trying to get dirt on him. The ex-girlfriend, surprisingly, called Mike to warn him about my mother's behavior. The most vindictive move came when my mother attempted to contact my company's biggest client. She tried to schedule a meeting under the guise of being a potential investor, planning to warn them about me. Fortunately, her attempt was flagged by our security team before any damage could be done. Lily's promotion celebration ended up being a disaster. Only 3 people showed up, our parents and one elderly aunt who apparently didn't get the message about our engagement party still being on. According to Jennifer, who heard it from another cousin, Lily spent the entire party ranting about me and making plans for revenge. Mike's sister caught Lily trying to create fake social media accounts in my name to post inflammatory content. She immediately reported them, and we've added this to our documentation. The level of coordination between my mother and sister in their attempts to destroy my reputation is honestly frightening. But there's been a silver lining. Through all this drama, Mike and I have grown stronger as a couple. Our therapy sessions have helped us develop better communication strategies and set healthy boundaries. We're more certain than ever that we're making the right decision in building our life together. Mike's family has been amazing. His mom organized a surprise bridal shower for me, attended by all the relatives who've stood by us. It was the first time in weeks I felt truly celebrated and loved. During the shower, Mike's grandmother gave me her vintage sapphire bracelet, a family heirloom she's been saving for the daughter she always wanted. The most recent development involves my grandmother Margaret. After seeing more evidence of my mother's manipulation, she's decided to rewrite her will. She told me she can't in good conscience leave her estate to people who would use it to hurt others. My mother, upon learning this, has switched from attacking me to desperately trying to repair her relationship with Grandma. Our engagement party is now just days away. The lake house is decorated beautifully, the catering is confirmed, and our real friends and family are excited to celebrate with us. We've hired a professional photographer to document the happy moments and a security team to handle any potential disruptions. I've stopped reading my mother's messages and blocked Lily on all platforms. Their attempts to control and hurt me only reinforce that I'm making the right decision in creating distance. Mike and I are focused on our future, and for the first time in my life, I'm not letting my family's toxicity overshadow my happiness. For those wondering about my next steps, Mike and I have decided to move to his company's West Coast office after the wedding. A fresh start, 3,000 miles away from the drama, sounds perfect right now. Update 3, it's been a month since my last update, and I need to share the final chapter of this story. The engagement party turned out to be a pivotal moment that changed everything. Following my grandmother's advice, I made one final attempt at reconciliation. I visited my parents' house, hoping to have a calm, adult conversation. The moment I walked in, I knew it was a mistake. Lily was there, her face contorted with anger. "So, the princess finally shows up," she sneered. "Did you come to gloat about how you stole all my guests?" The venom in her voice was shocking, even after everything that had happened. What followed was surreal. She pulled out a folder filled with photos and screenshots, documenting every time I'd overshadowed her since childhood. She created a twisted timeline of perceived slights, including events I barely remembered. My parents stood silently by, nodding along as Lily ranted about how I'd always been jealous of her success. When I tried to speak, my mother cut me off. "You've always been difficult, Alice. If you'd just learned to support your sister properly." That's when it hit me, this wasn't about the engagement party anymore. This was about a lifetime of toxic dynamics that would never change. I left without saying another word, finally understanding that no explanation or reconciliation would ever be enough. The real surprise came the next day. My HR department received an anonymous package containing evidence of misconduct on my part, doctored emails, edited photos, even a fake performance review. The attempt was so amateurish that it actually worked in my favor. My company's legal team is now involved, and they're taking the harassment seriously. Mike's company expedited our transfer to the West Coast office. We're moving next month, right after the wedding. His parents helped us find a beautiful house in a quiet neighborhood, far from the chaos we're leaving behind. The most touching part of all this has been watching my grandmother Margaret step into the role my mother should have played. She's been helping with wedding preparations, offering wisdom and support without trying to control everything. Last week, she gave me her own wedding dress, a gorgeous vintage gown that, with minor alterations, fits perfectly. Planning the wedding has been surprisingly peaceful since we decided to have a small ceremony at Mike's family's lake house. No huge production, no elaborate guest list, just the people who've truly supported us. Mike's sister is my maid of honor, and his best friend from college is officiating. My mother's latest attempt at manipulation backfired spectacularly. She tried to organize a competing family event on our wedding day, but this time, even her most loyal supporters saw through it. Aunt Patricia called it the last straw, and publicly announced she would be attending our wedding instead. Lily's behavior has become increasingly erratic. She created a wedding registry in my name, filled with inappropriate items, and shared it with family members. When that failed to get the reaction she wanted, she started telling people she was engaged to a mysterious businessman no one had ever met. The most healing part of this journey has been the relationships that have grown stronger through adversity. Mike's family has shown me what genuine love and support look like. His mother helped me find a therapist in our new city, and his father offered to walk me down the aisle when he heard my own father wouldn't be attending. Yesterday, we had our final wedding planning meeting. Looking around the table at our real family, Mike's parents, my grandmother, the friends who've become family, I felt completely at peace with our decisions. The people who truly matter will be there to celebrate with us. I've stopped checking my phone for messages from my parents or Lily. Their absence from my wedding isn't a loss, it's a confirmation that I'm making the right choice. As my therapist said, sometimes the healthiest family is the one you choose for yourself. We're getting married next weekend. My grandmother will walk me down the aisle, Mike's sister will stand beside me, and we'll be surrounded by people who genuinely want us to be happy. Then we'll start our new life on the West Coast, 3,000 miles and a lifetime away from the toxic patterns of my past. To everyone who supported me through this journey, thank you. You helped me find the strength to choose happiness over obligation, health over toxicity, and love over manipulation. This isn't just the end of a difficult chapter, it's the beginning of a beautiful new story. And to those still trapped in toxic family dynamics, there is hope. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away and build something better.